What's going on, family? Can you hear me? Does it sound okay? Let me know. I'm gonna have to do some craziness because for some reason my Streamlabs OBS will not. I can't connect the remote to my Streamlabs for some reason. So you'll have to forgive me. We're gonna have to do some crazy Inception stuff for a second. So let's take a look. Hey, what's going on? Roquinos, Crypto Pollo, Cluck Cluck. What's going on? Justin Eubanks, what's going on? Crypto Wanderer. Trying to do a little vacation stream while the family is gone at the pool. I don't like to look at pools all day. I mean, I look at pools all day, every day for my day job. So, you know, when I'm on vacation, kind of like to steer clear of the pools, if you know what I mean. But I am right by a lake, and hopefully we'll be able to go and visit that real soon. Let's get to some Inception real quick. Here we go. Hey, hello. So this is the Inception. I cannot get my remote to connect to my Streamlabs so that I can switch through everything. So I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to look at my phone and watch the live just so I can keep up with chat. Oh, that doesn't sound too bad. Let that pool sink in. That's funny. I need to turn myself down. There we go. So yeah, what is going on, guys? Let's go ahead and go over to the charts. I'm gonna see what this looks like. That's Discord. Let's get back over here. All right. Let me look over here at the phone, see what we're looking, see how we're looking. Come on, hurry up and change. Change. Sorry, I have to wait and see what this looks like. See if we're good. Big old head. Got a big old head on the screen. There we go. Oh, looks good. Looks good. All right. So what I've been looking at since I've been on vacation is the quarterly chart, the 3 month chart. It's pretty cool. What I have noticed is that as long as we close less than, I believe it was 30 something percent, less than a 30% drawdown, because this drawdown right here was 37%. This one was like 50, and this one was like in its like 43. So, but as long as we close a nice, small candle, get a nice indecisive candle, kind of consolidation candle, more like it. As long as we close on a consolidation candle, and this one is kind of looking like a hammer too. So that's a pretty bullish sign. I mean, 3 months of just pure consolidation. We had the halving happen during this quarter, right? If we look at previous halvings, we can see this halving occurred, and then we had a nice, well, this one was pretty sketch because, I mean, this is 2013, so things are going to be a little sketch then anyway. But consolidation and then expansion, right? Having consolidation, expansion. Having probably had consolidation within this candle. I mean, it is a pretty tight candle in here, candle body. And then the very next quarter, big expansion, right? So that's what I'm looking for here. We have the halving during this quarter and consolidation occurring within that same quarter. Now, and we had the halving at the beginning of the quarter too in April. So just this is just normal stuff, just kind of pointing that out. Don't get don't fret because things are taking a little while to really get going. But you've got BlackRock buying up boatloads of Bitcoin. We had 100.8 million Bitcoin in inflows yesterday, whereas Monday and Tuesday saw net outflows. So it's good to see us back on the positive side of our flows regarding the ETFs. the Bitcoin ETFs. So what I'm kind of thinking is we didn't get the rate cut, of course, no surprise rate cut, surprise, surprise. Um, but next FOMC is late July, and then after that is September. I don't know if we'll get it in July. I think there's a decent chance that we get a surprise rate cut in September. This is before the elections. So, with it being before the elections, what does that allow the market to do? It allows the market to first process the rate cut, which we could see a dip off of the initial news of a rate cut, or we could see a big push up and then a pullback is kind of what I'm leaning towards, is that we see a push up, because initially it's going to be taken as bullish, and it is more long-term bullish, but the initial bullishness I feel like would just be there to suck in buyers so that institutions, your market makers can sell off. And so with that said, if that happens, then we'd likely see the pullback, a massive pullback, mind you, probably that 30% to 40% pullback that we get every bull cycle, but it's usually that last pullback before we hit our blow off tops. So with September coming, I would expect if we were to get the rate cut, then we would see an initial bullish move and then a pullback, a pretty deep pullback, especially for altcoins. But Bitcoin going 30% in a pullback would be massive for altcoins. They would dump even harder. But then that's that's what we want. That's what we would want. Because then we would see a nice massive expansion September, October, August, September. I'm trying to get my months mixed up. September moving up, uh, August moving up, October blow off top maybe, leading into November, maybe, maybe. So I want to see bullish. I would expect bullish price action to be occurring before the elections because that would just boost the current administration's chances of winning. Then the number one indicator for every single U.S. election is the economy. If the economy is doing well, now the market is not the economy. It is a little bit of a reflection of a pretty significant reflection of the economy, really, but the market isn't really the economy. But how people feel about the economy is what typically determines US elections. If the economy is good, we tend to re-elect the incumbent. If the economy is struggling or bad, we tend to elect someone new. That's just people will always vote their pocketbooks. So, regardless of where you are on that, I don't really care. All I care is monetary policy. Let's dive in a little bit deeper. How you guys doing, man? I'm just sitting in here in a log cabin. Did not want to go to the pool, so I figured I would test out a live stream, and it looks like it's working out pretty well. I mean, the internet might work out, man. So that's pretty cool, especially if I want to try and hop on any shows later at some point while I'm here. We'll see about that. Let's go to a different chart than this one. I want Bitcoin, but I want a different chart. Doing good in my learning phase. Doing good in my learning phase. Good to hear it. Rokinos. Am I even saying your name right? I don't know. Let's go to the daily chart. Let's turn off these halvings. So basically what I'm seeing right now on the daily chart, guys, or on the Bitcoin chart is just we're still in the range. I mean, it's pretty much doing exactly as were predicting. The only issue is we have not come down and taken out lows that I have been expecting for us to take out. We do have this daily fair value gap down here. I got you in the background. This price action sucks so bad. Yeah. So we've got this daily fair value gap down here that I've been eyeing up for a little while because we did expand. We crossed um, this high right here, and we did not come back down to that daily fair value gap. We expanded higher, consolidate, maybe a sweep of the lows, come back down, tap into this daily fair value gap, and then we can move back to the upside. So still, as long as we're stuck in this range, I mean, it's really not much to do. We break down any further, I am probably going to be looking at longs. Now, this cannot be wave one, okay? This right here cannot be wave one of a 5-wave structure and be crossed. If that line is crossed, that is not wave one, okay? I am thinking, have been thinking that this consolidation range right here and this big push up right here, this was the start of our wave one. This is our pullback for wave two. This is all Elliott wave theory. So we have wave one, wave two for the pullback, and then we expand higher for wave three, pullback four, and then push up for wave five. This is just to show you market structure and what I am leaning towards and it kind of expecting. You know, last week on Friday, this was exactly what I was saying. We get a little deviation above the highs. We got just the smallest deviation above the highs, really creating a relatively equal high up here. You know me, my equal highs and my equal lows. The equal highs and equal lows love to be taken out. It just shows that there is liquidity up here by the way that we get rejected from those ranges. This can be also seen as strong resistant. However, the more you tap a level, the weaker it becomes because you are digging into the orders that are resting at those levels. Once those orders get fully bought up, there's only one place to go, and that is higher so that people can sell off for higher. People are not selling if you're not selling at the lows, you're selling at the highs, which is where you would want to be selling if you're buying at the lows. Then you want to be selling at the highs. So let's see, you spelled it right. Before that daily FEG, we have big weekly FEG above it. Let's go to the weekly chart. Take a look-see. Above it. Okay, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of a fair value gap there on the weekly. If you're talking about this right here, I need to get my prime screener on here so that I know exactly. Now we did tap that one. We actually swept into that. That is that's interesting. That's very interesting. Good eye Rockinos. Let me get my screener on here. Do I not have it on here? Thought I did. Oh, I need to get back to that 3-month chart later. Let's see. Prime screener. So I'll turn this on so that it shows up to the right on my screen so that I know I don't need to put my graphics or the chart, my candles into that area because that is where my camera is sitting. So there we go. All right, so we did come down and we did tap. Let's see, the low on this is 70,222. The low on this is 70,132. So actually, wait, did I say 70? 72, 132, 70,000. So it's a $2,000 difference there. So it did come in and sweep that low. Am I reading that right? Oh, that's a high. Me so silly. 66,000 even and 66.10. So we swept it by $10 on the weekly. Weekly fair value gap. We come in, we take the internal high here, right here. Next candle, we expand up, creating that fair value gap. It's like magic, man. We always come back down. We sweep the high, come back down, tap the weekly fair value gap, and then next thing you know, we push to the upside. This is exactly why I'm thinking next week is when we really start to see we, we start our progression towards 100K starting next week, I think. I think maybe we get some more chop for the rest of this week going into the weekend. And then Sunday night, aka Monday in Asia, maybe we start seeing some moves. Maybe Asia starts off by sweeping the lows like they like to do. They like to sweep lows or sweep highs and then reverse hardcore. So that is what I'm looking at, guys. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see us come down. I really want to get into this daily fair value gap, push down maybe a wick down here, catch a wick at 64.5, maybe a tad lower. What's this low right here? This low right here is 64.567. So I want to see this low right here swept, taken. That's it. That's all I need to see. I only need to see this low taken, and I'll be happy. Now, given that we have that weekly fair value gap that's already been tapped, technically we could reverse from here. But I'm just wanting to get through all this chop, and I want to see a clear sign. I was talking the other day how I wanted to see a clear sign of like a capitulative move that had where price moves down in a quick manner, but then reverses back quickly. This was starting to look like it, but this did not look healthy once you looked under the hood and you started to look at your open interest, which rose at the same time that this candle was being created. Now, if our open interest is rising as this candle is being created, that signaled to me that this was not a healthy move and that was likely people jumping into longs late, and then therefore they needed to be that we needed to clear that froth out of the market, and that's exactly what we did on the very next 4-hour candle. Came back and completely engulfed that candle. That's pretty bearish, so I do expect more downside from that price action. Alex O'Crypto, what's going on, my guy? Throwing the otters in the chat. Let's go. Throw the otters in the chat, friends. Before that daily FEG, we have big weekly FEG above it. Got you. David Brumbelow, my guy. I'm almost caught up, about 2 minutes to catch up. Nice. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you all. Throw those otters in the chat for Alex O'Crypto. Alex O'Crypto. So yeah, it looks like my internet's going to work. So if anybody wants me on their show today or tomorrow, let me know. Let me know. All right, let's see. Let's put on, let's check out our, not MCA. Let's check out our EMA. See right there, 4-hour EMAs, and we are pushing below them. We are below them. We got rejected off of them yesterday, and we are pushing a little bit lower. So I would like to see us get above these EMAs, man, especially on the 4-hour. That would be nice. Get above those 4-hour EMAs and hold them. You see how we just immediately rejected and came back down? Yeah, it's not what you want to see. You want us to see us get above and hold those levels. Come down to the 1-hour, and we're also below. Let me get rid of some of this stuff so we can actually see what's going on in here. There we go. Yeah, so we are below the EMAs. No more news till next week. Even next week's news is boring. Let me come over here real quick. Let's go to forexfactory.com. Let's do a weekly. How do we do the weekly? More? I want to go to next week, Friday, June 21st. No. All right. Monday, Empire State Manufacturing Index. Tuesday, we have core retail sales and retail sales. Wednesday, CPI. Oh, that's Great Britain. We don't care about that one. That's at 2 a.m. So we might see a move at 2 a.m. So volatility, 2 a.m. Wednesday morning. That is Central Standard Time, I believe. I think so. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's 1 Central Standard Time, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe all of these are in Eastern Standard Time. Thursday, we have unemployment claims and building permits and Philly Fed. Yeah. So 2 crypto Poyos point, not really so much on the U.S. side. A little bit of Europe, a little bit of the euro, a little bit of GBP, the British pound, and yeah, some Canada. So what we want to see with those, though, I was talking about this, I think Monday or Tuesday, maybe Tuesday evening. I was going over all of the currencies that make up the Dixie and what we want to see from that. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on now. Hello. There we go. All right. So yeah, the Dixie. So the USD CAD, the Australian dollar, the euro, the British pound, and the Japanese yen. All of these make up the Dixie. These are what make up the Dixie. Okay. With the euro being like around 50% of that. So we want to see the euro be bullish so that the Dixie is bearish. Okay? If the euro is bullish, more likely than not, the Dixie is bearish. With the Dixie being bearish, that means our risk on assets are inversely correlated with that. So um, we would expect to see some upwards price action and risk on assets if the euro is or the Dixie is bearish and the euro is bullish. So we want to see. So let me take off this. No, let me just take this off. Bingo. Yep. So I was pointing this out the other day. I didn't really care for how it was looking then. We're still sitting below the EMAs on the daily chart for the euro. So I really want to see the euro start getting some bullish movement in here. The sooner we can get some bullish movement out of the euro, the better. But I was looking, let me zoom out a little more to the weekly. I was looking at this kind of if you're a pattern trader, it looks kind of like a diamond in here. These are usually reversals, or at least temporary reversals where you get a move down out of it, and then you get a push back to the upside. It does have a fair value gap right here on the weekly chart. So that could be something that we want to come down and tag, is that fair value gap down there. But if we look at the timeline on this, I mean, we're looking at, oh, what is that? The third quarter? Third quarter? Oh, the one that I'm bullish on? Maybe. Maybe. Euro just has to see upwards price action against the Dixie. That's all we needed to do. It doesn't matter where it's at as far as its, I guess you call it price. But as long as it is moving up and taking from the Dixie, and the Dixie is moving down, then our risk on assets should be looking pretty good. How are you guys doing? What's going on, fam? Hope you're all doing swell. What are we looking like on ETH? So I drew this out sometime last week. I mean, this is a daily chart, so yeah, it was probably last week, or it was wherever I started this, which was Saturday. So it's probably last Friday. Oh yeah, I was looking at something the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, I think it was the S&P. But yeah, so still looking for my downside target on Ethereum at around 3155, maybe 32K or 3200 rather. And then we can push to the upside. If we start getting this V bottom out of here, that would be great. This would go into next week as well. So that's just really what I'm looking for, guys. I'm looking for more consolidation, maybe a little more downside for across the board, and to just next week really get the thing back on the road, man. Let's get it back on the road. Let's start moving back to the upside. Everybody wants to see more upside, including me. We are getting a buy signal here, and a peak seeker down here at the lows. Bunch of peak seekers on our chart prime oscillator pro. This is signaling, okay, we are close to bottoming. These usually come in a little early before the actual bottom. So I would not be surprised to see us come down a little more, come down, meet my target, and then continue to the upside. I also would not be surprised for us to just continue from where we are and just chop around for the next few days, right? So that is very possible as well. Is that we just chop around the same levels and not even go down and sweep the lows that I'm wanting to, right? Velo app.ai, is this the one I'm looking for? I don't think so. No, that's not it. That's not going to be it. Velo data, that's what it is. Velo, whoops. Velo data. Here we go. Let's go to chart. I'm not logged in on here, and I don't think I can log in as long as I am on this laptop. Did that just show where I am? No, it didn't. Okay. Gotta be careful. Why is it so bright? I don't know. You can see me better now. Bet they sweep. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to sweep. We got a nice white chart here. Hope your eyes are okay. You should be awake though, so it should be fine. I mean, I could change it. I can change it. Let's go ahead and add aggregated open interest. So this is what I was watching yesterday. Yeah, I saw that no, right here. I saw that bullish move to the upside, put in a lot of open interest, and I don't like that. I don't like that. If we are moving to the upside, I want to see our open interest moving to the downside. Why? Because that is signaling that we are liquidating shorts. However, if our open interest is moving to the upside with us, then that is showing long positions and short positions technically being opened as prices moving to the upside. We want to see shorts being liquidated and open interest moving down as our price is moving to the upside, because that is showing that we are removing froth from the market, aka liquidity, and then we can advance further from there. But as long as our open interest is moving up with price, it just means that there's too many leveraged players entering at the market, and eventually they get wiped out, and then we can move to the upside. That's what usually leads to those quick capitulative moves to the downside, and then the V bottoms out. That's what leads to it. Too many people over leveraging, getting in at the wrong time, and then just getting wiped out, and then they get swept, they get knocked out of the market, and then price moves against them back to the upside, or moves with them rather, back to where they were wanting to go to begin with. So yeah, so just watching that open interest, really, man, just I didn't like how it was moving up. I don't like how on this whole move to the upside, we're kind of building up our open interest in general, just moving to the upside. I want to see us get squeezed down to the downside, long squeeze to the downside, knock out some longs, so that it would look something like this on our open interest. See some shorts get piled in, and then as we are coming down, sweeping our lows, shorts get piled in. And then next thing you know, the shorts get wrecked. And that is when we see the big move and the froth getting removed from the market, and we get that shift and start moving back to the upside. And now that we've liquidated all of our longs, now we can shift back to the upside and get moving. So that is what I'm looking for on our open interest with Bitcoin and everything really. So anytime I see that, and if I let me go look at Ethereum, ETH, USDT, Binance Futures. So that big move that we had in Ethereum, and this was what concerned me, this big move right here that we had in Ethereum not that long ago, that pushed to the upside. Whoops. And what happened at the exact same time? Open interest shot up at the exact same time that price shot up. Chop about, open interest gets choppy as well. Kind of moving down as price is moving down, so that is more of what we want to see. But I want to see a quick flush of open interest, come back to somewhat of a baseline in here, and then we can talk about moving back to the upside for ETH as well. So, that's just a couple of things that I'm looking for, guys. Let's see. That was a diamond pattern on the euro. It should break upwards out of the diamond. I wouldn't expect a big drop before it moved upwards, stomp the Dixie back down. Possible. I don't know really too much about diamond patterns. I thought they were reversal patterns. Yeah, see, this is what I'm kind of expecting, or was expecting from that. Because I'm pretty sure the diamond pattern is a reversal pattern. So yeah, you come up, create that diamond, and you break down. So that's what I was looking at over here on the euro. Euro US, oh yeah, Euro USD, Capcom. Is this the same chart I was using? Probably not. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me. This thing's a little slow. It's a wee bit slow. It is, breaks out the same direction it came from. Yeah. Then why did you say it would go higher? I'm confused. Because it came from the lows. Came from the lows. Came from a low, anyway. Let me get this off of here. There we go. Being a little slow. Yeah, super slow. Maybe I need to close these other ones. Get rid of that. I already went over the open interest data, so we're good on that. Close. Let's close that. Here we go. Close this. So yeah, if we look at this, oh man, I should have left the diamond patterns up. But if you just go back and you look at that diamond pattern, I mean, it looks like it should break down, and then that's when I would expect that's why I expect it to break down and then eventually move back to the upside or start moving back to the upside during the third quarter of this year, which would then ultimately bring the Dixie down. So that's what I want to see. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, good. That diamond is angled downwards, but it did look like a Bart head. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, there is an argument to be made that this is kind of a, let's see, a little bit of a, maybe if I zoomed out a little more, it would look more prominent. Let's see. The kind of a, oh, sorry. This laptop is a touchscreen, so I can, if it'll work while I'm live, it's probably not gonna. It's not gonna do it. All right. Just a little bit of a triangle in here, right? Maybe even a little bit of a wedge. We come down, descending. So even this kind of has us coming down to the downside, possibly, if we can't break above here. Let's get rid of this. Come back down to the downside, sweep these lows, come back up, break above, retest, and then off and away she goes. Maybe something like that, and then that would help us out again. And this would start July, man, third quarter. I'm expecting Q3 to really start bringing the heat and really start pushing us in the right direction on our crypto holdings. That's what I'm looking for. Looks like a bull flag in the second half. Yeah. Yeah, right here. Yeah. But this is, I don't really do much with the patterns anymore. I started off with patterns, but then I found just finding liquidity and support and resistance levels or equal highs and equal lows and fair value gaps. And I don't know, I find that stuff a lot more accurate than patterns. Patterns just tend to get destroyed a little too often, except for like your double tops and double bottoms, depending on because double tops and double bottoms can be equal lows and equal highs as well. So, but if one swept the other in a decent way, not to where they're relatively equal, but a nice like big wick down to sweep the other one, then we could see that being a good double bottom or double top, depending on where you're on the market, whether you're at the highs or the lows. Those double tops, double bottoms in your head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulders, those are the ones that I think are the most accurate when it comes to patterns. Outside of that, I mean, I see triangles, I see bull flags, I see bull pennants. That just so many of these patterns, they just get violated all the time. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't find very much use out of patterns anymore. Not like I used to. Unless, however, we're talking about stocks. Stocks absolutely love to follow TA. Yeah, I mean they just do. At stocks absolutely love to follow TA. I'm looking kind of dark in here. Hello. So what are we looking at right now? What is Bitcoin doing right now? I'm also looking at a lot of altcoins, trying to get myself set up so I can start doing more altcoin TA for you guys, since I do think we are going to be getting close to the altcoin phase of the cycle. We're getting close, not quite there yet. I mean, outside of your outliers, we will have outliers that outperform Bitcoin and all that stuff. But for now, I'm being patient with the altcoins because I don't think Bitcoin um, is quite there yet. Almost. We're almost there. Hello. Guys, excuse me. I'm having to use a pad instead of a mouse. Didn't bring a mouse. Didn't think about bringing a mouse. It is what it is. Slower time frames. Let's see what we can see. Let's see if we can see anything going on in here. All right, so I have a high, and a low. Whoa, I didn't know I made those orange. We sweep these lows over here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Still have this low here. Oh, is that a market structure shift? Okay, so we have this fair value gap right here, internal high taken out. Then we have this fair value gap right here. We come down, we take the whole fair value gap. Oh man, I could have made this play today. Drop down, take out the internal low, come down to this fair value gap right here. Oh man, I wish I wouldn't have missed this. This fair value gap right here, and then target the lows, shift to the downside. So we come down, take out this low here, create relatively equal lows. So that is a pool of liquidity plus this low over here to the left. So then we can put our trade setup like so, come up, get us barely above the start of our fair value gap, and then target the lows. Now I do have this more higher time frame low right here. So that is something that I would have targeted right here. So would have been a nice trade. 1.34%. Hey man, 20x on that, that's 20% trade. 10x on that, I mean, it's a 10% trade. I usually go like 1x over what I'm wanting to trade with. Why? Because of the fees. We gotta take care of the fees. That's just something that I do personally. Now, remember, this isn't even a 2-to-1. This is why I've been kind of really wanting to put my stops just above or below the second candle in the fair value gap, because we tend to not come up and get into this area. But that way, that gives me more of a 2-to-1 trade. Now, once it comes down and it breaks these lows, I can get rid of that. I can take some profit off of the table, and I can move my stop loss to take profit. Usually, I'm digging into a little bit on the other side so that I take care of my fees. So I've already taken 50% off the board, and then I move my stop loss uh, into profit as well to take care of fees. So if we come back down to it, I've already taken profit and I don't have to worry about the fees. So that's part of your risk management strategy that you want to do anytime you are trading. Anytime, if a trade goes in your way, you know, the the best thing for me to do, not financial advice, the best thing that I think you should do is manage your risk as the trade is ongoing instead of just hopping out. Um, People love to hit targets and then get out, which is perfectly fine. I mean, if you're hitting targets, sure. But what I much prefer to do is try to let a little bit of the trade run. So I'll take like 50% out, depending on how big the move was. Most of the time it's around 50%. If it's a pretty big move, I'll take like 75% out, and then I will move my stop loss. And the more, as long as we continue to take out highs, I am continuing to move my stop loss higher and higher beneath lows so that I'm just locking in more and more profits. That is if you are able to sit there and watch the charts as well. So there are some exchanges that actually have a trailing stop loss feature that you can try out. If they do, I would say, hey, give them a try. Give them a try. Well, a lot of you can set it to like 5%, so that if price falls 5%, it'll take you out. So if you're moving to the upside, you will have a stop loss that trails 5% below price. So it'll be moving up. So price is moving up. Your stop loss will move up with it, trailing at a 5% lower rate. And when this pulls back, your stop loss sits still. Okay? And it sits still. It stays right where it was when you started the pullback. When price continues, it will continue once you cross this high here. So your trailing stop will continue with it until it stops and it comes down and takes out your trailing stop and takes you out of the trade. But that's it. That's how the trailing stop loss works. I love a trailing stop loss. So let's see. So yeah, is this going to go lower? We did come back. We are getting a little bit of bearish order flow where we're pushing off of our fair value gaps here on the lower time frames. Let me change this. This is bearish fair value gap. And then there's another one that I just saw right here. And this one led to the break of this low over here. That is not insignificant. I love wicks that also overlap fair value gaps. Okay, this tends to be a nice, strong price reaction level as some would say, we are turning support as we were bouncing off of this into resistance. So we come down, we come back up, and we turn that previous support, into resistance. So that is what we are battling right now. If it comes back up, maybe we just see more choppiness. I mean, that's why I'm not jumping in any trades right now. Not only because I'm on vacation, but also I just I want it to be nice and clear and concise and obvious, right? So we'll just have to wait and see. So that's another thing. As long as we've got fair value gaps overlapping our wicks, and man, those are nice levels to look at. So this is a little bit of a bullish or bearish rather order flow as we are tapping our bearish fair value gaps and continuing to push lower. So hopefully maybe we can get above that, but if not, hey, we'll just go lower. I am expecting lower, so why not just go ahead and give it to us? Just go ahead and give it to us. We want lower. We want lower. Lower prices. Now, if this thing turns around and starts pushing off of bullish fair value gaps, then we have reversed our order flow. The only problem is we haven't taken out this low. We haven't taken out any significant lows. So I don't know. I'm not seeing a strong market structure shift in here. It's looking kind of weak, to be honest. It's looking kind of weak. And watch it just freaking explode from here. That would be hilarious. But this was just, we can see this was just a fake out to the upside, took it all back. Just just nasty. That's why I did not get into the long yesterday. And I was warning my people not to hop in a long, not to FOMO, just be patient because this type of crap happens. And what did we get right before that? Swing failure pattern. Yeah, we did get that explosive move to the upside, but we had a swing failure pattern right before that on the 15 minutes. So, um, how these things tend to play out is they don't tend to give you uh, when you get like signals or any kind of oscillator or indicator that gives you buy and sell signals or other types of signals, those signals usually are coming in advance. They're typically not saying do this right now. That none of them are actually saying do this right now. They're saying, hey, now's the time to be looking for this. Now is the time to be looking for buys. If other things line up, then look to buy, right? If you are getting a buy signal, strong buy signal, any kind of all this, any of that stuff, you just want to wait and see what the market provides you. Cool, 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 cool. It's looking good. Oh, it's starting to push. What's it going to do? Let's go down to a 1 minute and see what we're looking like on the super low time frame. So we know that that fair value gap is right here. Did we get, well, we got a little bit of a market structure shift in here. A little bit of one. Let me see if we can get it cleaner, maybe on the 2 minute or 3 minute. This was a little cleaner. Let's go to the 3. All right, that's a pretty clean fair value gap on the 3 right there. And then we take out the internal high and then we push to the upside. So we take out this little internal high right here. So I believe the strong push down, taking out some lows, get the push up, create a small internal high, pull down, and then get a nice bullish engulfing candle, pushing to the upside, taking out that internal high right there while creating a fair value gap at the same time. So we pull out that fair value gap, we wait for the pullback into it, and then we take a long and take the trade to the upside. And this came up to these equal highs right here. This is 3 minute candles too, but we had these little bitty equal highs right here, came right up to those, and then getting another pullback and pulled back into another fair value gap in here. Whoops. Another fair value gap in here that also lined up with some wicks over here. Pull this over to the side. There we go. And yeah, well, this was the fair value gap. Get it right there. Held that fair value gap, and we'll just have to see if price will continue from here or not. It's not looking exactly the strongest to me. A little bit of a bull div here on our chart prime oscillator pro, prime oscillator pro. Let's get rid of that. Let's add something else. Sometimes a simple RSI is enough. But we'll do a not market cipher B. Let's see what this is telling us. So we do have our money flow in the red, still in the red. Our VWAP and our momentum are above the 0 line, but our money flow is still in the red. So we want to be careful on that. Not market cipher A on the 3 minutes. So yeah, we are below the EMAs. We are getting a reversal signal. If this rejects, expect lower for sure. And I would not be surprised to see that either. So that's just, sometimes you got to look under the hood, kind of see what's going on. It doesn't exactly look strong. Everything is kind of pushing to the upside, but it might be a little too early, just a little too early. We are in the 3 minutes, so keep that in mind as well. So this thing could push. Did we just get a close above that 50 EMA? But it's, again, this is on the 3 minute, and we already got one close above the 50 EMA. Yeah, look at that. We'll see. Let's go to the 5 and see what it's looking like up here. Still below those EMAs. And what about a VWAP? What is the VWAP looking like? Let me make sure this is a session. I'm pretty sure it's this. I got it on a decade. I was doing some craziness last night. I'm gonna go back to that in a second. Get back to that 3-day chart. All right, so let me change the color of this to yellow so we can see it. There we go. All right, so we are also below our VWAP, but we could see that push up here to the VWAP and then another rejection as we get up to the 50 percentile of this current little range that we are in. So we have this little range here. We could come up, hit the 200 EMA and the VWAP at the same time. That would be a bearish back test after breaking these lows. So would not be surprised to see a nice little push up, an attempt to push up and break back above these fair value gaps. Are these fair value gaps in the higher time frames? I think they were. Yeah. And push back down to the downside. I'm just being a little bit cautious right now. Things are a little bit crazy. The markets are still settling from yesterday's FOMC, so we've got to be mindful of that. Still trying to process information and go through everything. Doesn't look like anything's going too crazy in stocks either. It's just kind of like a digesting the information type deal. We'll get back to you next week, We'll get back to you next week, see how everything's going. Now let's go back to the 3-month. I do want to share this. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to change my VWAP. T.I. Joe's in the house. What's going on, my guy? That's an interesting way to cover your fees. I've always added a little extra capital to start, then market, remove 5 to 10% when in profit, and let the rest ride to my limit sales and move stop loss into profit. Beautiful. As long as you are managing your risk, you're doing better than 90% of the market, okay? Just know that. Just know that. All right, I'm going to put this VWAP on a decade time scale, and I'm on my 3-month chart. I'm going to have to pick one with more history on it. So we'll go to the Bitstamp. This is something that I found pretty cool, pretty interesting. VWAP put on a decade, anchored to a decade, and yeah, break below it, bear market, break above it, bull market. Well, look at this one. We pulled back. This was a bear market. We didn't even come down to the VWAP, but then we did right here again. And this is another reason why I think people are mistaken when they think we are anything like 2020, 2021 bull run or the 2017. Wait, is this 2017? No, this is the 2017. So yeah, I don't think we're anything like the 2021 bull run. I think we are more resembling this bull run right here. This one right here, the 2017 bull run. And I would hope for 3 bullish quarters in a row for our expansion. I'm not sure we're going to get that since we have already. I mean, we can, but you can see one bullish quarter, bullish or consolidation quarter, one bullish quarter, consolidation quarter, one bullish quarter, consolidation quarter, kind of bullish too, and then mega bullish. It would be nice if we could see this current quarter close in the green, which would be above 70. What's the open? Let's go to the open. above $71,296. So if we can close June above $71,296, we'll close green. It would be a green consolidation quarter, which if I go to this bull market, green consolidation quarter, huge expansion, okay? Huge expansion. Green consolidation quarter right here, huge expansion. And so that's what I'm looking for, man. I'm just looking for some expansion to come in Q3. And yeah, one thing that I do want to point out that I pointed out in my channel in Alex O's Discord is this fair value gap that would be created if we were to close where we are today or even higher. Is this fair value gap created on the 3-month chart? Now, we've created fair value gaps before that did not have to get tapped until later, okay? So we can still expand from here. We don't have to come down, but I am keeping this on my radar that we possibly see, this close either where it's at or a little higher or a little lower. Doesn't really matter as long as it's not like a 30% close to the downside, because then that starts talking a little more bear market-ish. But if we can get a close somewhere in our current range or a little higher on the 3-month chart of at the end of June, then I would just be cautious of maybe a quick pullback to start Q3, and then we get an expansion. Whoa. Then we get an expansion to the upside. So a quick pullback and then expansion back to the upside. So I want to be a little bit that is going to be, in the back of my mind, maybe place some sell orders down here just in case below 56K or at 56K and below, down to about 50. I really don't want to take out more than half of this fair value gap, so about $50,000. So not saying we're going to get there. I'm not saying this is for sure going to happen. That's just something that I would be looking out for if we are to, which we likely are, going to create that fair value gap. So yeah. Yeah. T.I. Joe in the house. T.I. Joe, Brumbelow. Mad love, guys. Thank you for being here. Can you even see me? I guess not. That's okay. Doing the best I can with what I have. Hopefully, I can get my remote connected to my Streamlabs. Get my phone or my tablet connected to my Streamlabs remote, so I can do that on the side. That'd be much easier. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, guys. Yeah, I've been on for an hour. That was fun. That was lots of fun. So I appreciate you guys for being here. It looks like, internet's good enough for me to do some lives while I am on vacation. So maybe tomorrow I can set up outside or something. Hopefully it won't be too loud. I do have the noise suppression on, so we'll just have to see. So yeah, maybe tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for being here. Hopefully I'll see you around, maybe on other shows. Well, we'll see. We'll see. That backlight is trying to take you out. Yeah, man. Maybe if I hold on. Is that going to help me at all? Let's see if that helps me at all. I say, hold on. I walk away. There I go. Turn the light on. I come back. Luna Moon Rocket, what is going on? Hope you're doing well. I am actually wrapping up, friend. That light did not help at all. There is an LED light in the bedroom that I can probably go snag for the next one, but Hey, it is what it is. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. There's going to be some wonkiness when I close out because of this setup. I'm only on one screen, so I can't just like go over with my cursor and turn things off, and I can't get my remote connected to my OBS. So it is what it is. So, but yeah, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you as always. Don't forget to go and hey, man, follow Piper Academy. Go follow Alexo Crypto. Alexo Crypto should be starting up in about an hour, I believe, for his live stream. So yeah, go check out those guys. Link might not be in the description. Actually, might need to. I forgot to change the description before I started this. I think it has like a whole Streamlabs thing. I don't know. I have to go in there and change that. But anyways, thank you guys for being here and participating. I really appreciate each and every single last one of you. As always, I love you. Have a radical day. Ride the waves. Let me see. And peace out. Hold on. Wait, where's the outro? Oh, there it is.